Hello everybody, Angel Arts here, and this week is E3 2015, and on the first day of E3, BioWare had released the very first trailer of the next Mass Effect game. I am very excited. Um, this is, of course, something that I've been waiting for pretty much ever since the Mass Effect trilogy had ended, at least with Shepard's story. And now that Dragon Age Inquisition, I mean, I'm still haven't quite finished um, playing through Dragon Age Inquisition at all, because there's still a bunch of other playthroughs that I want to do. I'm still in the middle of my current day replay. But for the time being, I'm pumped to watch this trailer. It's a very short trailer, it's less than 2 minutes long. I'm not really sure how much information that they're going to give, but I figured that I might as well just go ahead and react to it, and we'll see how it is. So, let's check this out. Okay.
An old cowboy went riding out one dark and windy day.
Alright, so these are different planets, I guess.
Up on a ridge he
This feels like Minority Report, you know, swiping through all of these things. Oh, that's pretty cool looking. Interesting interface there. Wow! Look at that galaxy map. Oh, that's so cool! That was pretty impressive. Wow. I wonder what this ship is called. Nice! Yes, N7. Discover a new galaxy. Oh, the Mako's back. I figured as much. Huh. Shepard can jump in this one. Just like in Position, you gain the ability to jump. There's an engineer, Shepard, I think. Very nice. Mass Effect Andromeda. Holiday 2016. Alright, so they gave us they gave us the initial release date. We'll see if that slips at all. But wow, holidays 2016. So I'm assuming that means not this coming Christmas season, but the following Christmas season. So we still have about a year and a half to go, which is fine. I'm good with that. And honestly, if they need to take more time to polish it like they did with Inquisition, do it. Because they did that one correctly. They, in my opinion, they would have shot themselves in the foot if they had released it any earlier. Like the year, definitely the year earlier that they had originally intended to release it. So as sad as I know a lot of people would be if it got pushed, it got delayed a little bit, like maybe holidays, maybe as far as even holiday 2017, I think that's a good thing in the long run for the series and for the company of BioWare itself. So initial thoughts of the trailer. Again, it was really short. They showed a little bit. I thought that the interface, the galaxy map interface was amazing. I'm wondering what the ship of this game is going to be called, because I don't think they would be using the Normandy again. At least I doubt it. But who knows? But yeah, I mean, just going through all of the different planets. I'm assuming all of those planets are probably planets that you will be able. Every single one of those scenes, I think, are planets that you'll be able to explore. What's going to be really interesting is that this is meant to be a completely different galaxy entirely. So I think we're moving out of the Milky Way galaxy, moving on to a different galaxy. So then the question then becomes, you know, what are the races in this galaxy? How similar or different are the races in this galaxy versus the Milky Way galaxy? Because like, it gives the developers a good opportunity to come up with even more lore and to add on to the lore of what they have. And I'm wondering if Is our adventure going to stay in the galaxy, in that galaxy, or is it going to, will we be able to jump over to the Milky Way galaxy? I don't know. Andromeda? I believe Andromeda is the name of another galaxy in real life. Like Andromeda. Let me just. Yeah, the Andromeda galaxy. I'm my Google foo right now. Andromeda Galaxy is a spiral, according to my Wikipedia, thanks Wikipedia. The Andromeda Galaxy is a spiral galaxy approximately 780 kiloparsecs. In other words, 2.5 million light years from Earth, also known as Messier 31, M31, or NGC 224. It is often referred to as the Great Andromeda Nebula in older texts. The Andromeda Galaxy is the nearest major galaxy to the Milky Way, so that makes sense. I figured, yeah, it would have to be the next nearest galaxy to the Milky Way, but not the nearest galaxy overall. Oh, it's the nearest major galaxy, but not the nearest galaxy overall. It gets its name from the area of the sky in which it appears, the constellation of Andromeda, which was named after the mythological Princess Andromeda. I think I remember Andromeda from mythology. The Andromeda Galaxy is the largest galaxy of the local group, which also contains the Milky Way, the Triangulum Galaxy, and about 44 other smaller galaxies. Wow. Okay, so I guess it seemed like from what the BioWare developers or writers or other people, I mean, people from BioWare had explained before from sneak preview interviews, is that you are an exploratory. I think whoever your main character is that your job is to explore other galaxies, and that's why you end up in Andromeda. And this actually, we don't know if it's a prequel, sequel, or if it's actually happening in parallel to the events of Shepard's adventure. Moving to a different galaxy actually makes a lot of sense because if it was a sequel, I think that all of the major choices that you made at the end of Mass Effect 3 spoilers are about to abound, guys. But as far as whether you did synthesis or you didn't do synthesis or you did control or you did, you know, you did destroy, I think that that only affected, if I understand correctly, it only affected the Milky Way galaxy. So it's not like if you chose synthesis in the Milky Way galaxy, I don't think that necessarily implies that the other galaxies, like Andromeda, was affected by synthesis. So they could get away with that. Which begs the question then, it would be, though, interesting if even though your major choice of the ending of Mass Effect, the Mass Effect trilogy, didn't, doesn't really come into play, at least as far as the Andromeda Galaxy is concerned, it would be, I would like to think that you would still be able to load your saved game from Mass Effect trilogy, because it would be nice if your choices still somehow mattered in this next Mass Effect game. And is this next Mass Effect game meant to be another trilogy? Is Mass Effect Andromeda supposed to be another trilogy, again with the same hero? Or is this supposed to be just one game, story in and of itself, and not necessarily a trilogy that will continue? Like, that's another big question for me. It would be really nice if it was more than just the one game. Like, if you were able to stick with your hero um, for at least 2 or 3 games, and having the decisions of your hero, affect what happens, I guess, in the Andromeda Galaxy later on. Um, and maybe if at some point, again, if you were to jump over to the Milky Way galaxy, it'd be nice to see some of the choices that you made through Shepard affect that story in some way, as little or big as possible. But we got to see the Mako again. I mean, don't hate me, but I wasn't honestly a big Mako fan. I'm kinda gonna have to go with Steve Cortez and say that I forgot what it was called, but the main, um, that vehicle that you use to drive around, in Mass Effect 2, the sort of that hovercraft thing. I definitely was a big fan of that. So, and it's not just because Steve Cortez is in favor of that. I mean, because I love me some James Vega too, and James Vega was definitely on Team Mako, but I wasn't a big fan of Team Mako's like mechanics. But maybe they'll improve it. It was just really frustratingly clunky. It just got to the point where I didn't really have fun roaming around it. It became more of a chore for me, and it just it wasn't fun, and that's a problem. So hopefully they'll improve that a little bit. I just felt that the other vehicle in Mass Effect 2s were just responded better, and so I enjoyed myself more with that. But anyway, that's you know, even if the Mako still has clunky controls, just for old time's sake, I don't think it's going to spoil the game for me at all. We have no clue really what the story is about. Um, I'm hoping, I'm just hoping that with the new galaxy that we don't get super, um, I guess, super intimidated with all this new lore thrown into our laps, because a whole new galaxy might have completely different rules, um, probably completely different races with completely different histories. It's just a lot of information because you know, knowing the lore from a single galaxy, not a city, not a planet, not a solar system, but an entire galaxy with thousands of aliens. I mean, that was overwhelming enough as it is, and there's very much about the Mass Effect lore that I am not familiar with at all, and I don't think even if I started now, I still won't be able to be even scratch the surface of it. And now we're adding on a completely new galaxy, so I'm going to be overloaded with a lot of information. But I like to believe that the writers will be able to introduce this new galaxy, introduce this world to us in such a way that it's digestible, and then we can kind of understand. Mass Effect 1 did a very good job of introducing this world to us and introducing this lore to us. So I guess I'm not too worried about it, but it's just, you know, for me, I'm dungeon mastering or game mastering the Mass Effect RPG tabletop campaign right now, and it's that in and of itself is overwhelming because as the game master, I'm supposed to know as much as I can, at least as it pertains to the story that I'm telling, as much as I can about this world and how the world works and the rules of the world, and it can get really challenging. And the same thing goes for Dragon Age with the Dragon Age RPG campaign. But anyway, so that is my initial thoughts and feelings of the trailer so far. What do you guys think of the trailer? I know again that it was decently short, but from what I've seen, I am very excited. I'm kind of glad that they didn't show too much because if they showed too many details now, that would make the wait for the game to finally release a lot more painful. So I kind of am okay with them just teasing us here and there. And maybe when the game is a year out or 9 months out, then they can stop dropping more of the nitty gritty details, the really exciting details, because, then it'll make the wait a lot more bearable. So, anyways, thanks guys for watching, and until next time, love yourselves and love each other.